So here's the thing that I want to talk about today, and it's about self-criticism. Namely, if you've seen my last video, I said that I sort of developed a creative block because I was too harsh on myself. I was way too self-critical. And the reason for that, I think, comes from the mindset. And here is my usual mindset. No matter what I do, I always feel that I could have done more. So let's see, if I do one big thing in a day, if I spend the entire day doing one thing, if I don't finish that thing, I would feel like I've done nothing. The other thing that sometimes happens is that I do finish the thing and then I feel bad because I didn't do anything except that one thing. And I certainly wanted to do more. And I have that love-hate relationship with to-do lists, because if my list is too big, and let's say I heard somewhere, I think it was Mel Robbins or someone like that, who said, like, make a list of 10 things you want to do in a day and then just check 3 of them and be happy about that. And that's not how my brain works. My brain works quite the opposite. I want to see a perfect to-do list. So I would make a to-do list of 10 things, check 3, feel bad about that. Although it's a 3 top priority things that I did, I would still feel bad for not doing the other 7 that are probably not that relevant, but I would just feel bad for not doing them. And then I would just shrink down my to-do list up to 5 items and then try to accomplish 60% of that, which is 3 at most. And I would feel less bad, less guilty of not accomplishing everything, but I would still feel a bit of guilt. And when I was trying to figure out the source of my creative block last week, I came to a conclusion, as you might know, that the self-criticism is one of the things that pushed me into that state of mind of not being able to create anything. So I decided to switch my mindset. And this thing helped me a lot. This is a notebook which I got from my sister for my birthday, which was like a month ago. And basically it's a planner. But what's so unusual about this planner is that it's empty. You have to fill the dates and the days. And it's divided into weeks and months, of course. So in the month, when you have like the beginning of the month, you fill in the dates, and then what you do is you write down the big 3 things which you want to accomplish during the entire month. And then you do like monthly goals, which here is empty because I didn't want to put too much pressure on me. I was still testing the waters. But then you have the same thing for the week. And I don't know how much you can see. Here is my first week, or since I was using this. It says this week's top 3. And for the first week that I was using this, it was like make a movie, write 7 blogs. I didn't do that, and upload 90 photos, 70 to 90 photos, which I didn't do. But what I did here is that I learned one thing. All right. So I put all my to-do things in the weekly schedule. See, it's all in the week. So I have the entire week to do my to-do list. And then I would, here on this page, we have days. It goes from Monday to Sunday. My weeks start on Saturday, which is odd because Saturday was the day when I decided to use this. And first I started to write like for every day. I would look at this place here where I have weekly to-do list. Then I would just take the 3 most important and put them on a day. But the problem was that on the weekly to-do list, I put most of the stuff that I put were like a big project that couldn't be finished in a day. So I would put on Saturdays like organize photos, and then I would do like 30% of the task, and I couldn't check the box, and checking the box is very important, at least for me. So what happened next is that I again felt bad because I couldn't do a single task, accomplish one task in a day. And then somewhere in the middle of the last week, I decided I'm gonna still keep this weekly to-do list, which is going to be my blueprint for what I want to do in a week, what I want to accomplish in the entire week. But I'm not gonna make daily to-do lists because I put then too much pressure on me. So whenever I start working, whenever my work day starts, I would quickly look at the weekly list, and on this week's list there is a I think I switched writing to Serbian because I don't know why. It says fix the automation. What that means is I want to change the mail server for my mailing list on my other website and YouTube channel. So I need to move all the automatizations from one mailing newsletter provider to the other one. And that's a boring task, but it's a huge task. And I want to accomplish that this week. And for example, this morning, I didn't say, all right, finish the whole optimization process, finish moving mails from one server to the other. I didn't write anything in my to-do list. I just looked at there and said, all right, I need to work on that. So I sat down and worked for an hour. When I got just too bored with that, I said, all right, let's do something else. This is too boring. I'm happy with how much I did on that task today. So let's move to the other task. And then I wrote down, I moved 5 emails. And that was just it. And it felt good because this is something I've been postponing for weeks because I knew I had to do it. My subscription ends in August and I need to move all of that until August. But I haven't started because it's a huge job. But now when I finish something and just wrote down I did this, I've kind of started to feel good because I did one thing. Then my other thing on the list here is to organize the photos for our next cookbook. And there was 4,500 photos and more than 200 recipes for the cookbook. And I just had to organize them, put them in the folders, each recipe, each folder. So you have the photos and the text that goes with the recipe. And that's a huge task. I started to work on that maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks ago. And I did a huge chunk in a first sitting. But as I said, I felt bad because I couldn't finish the entire thing. And then the next day I tried to do as much, but I could just do a little because it's a tedious job of dragging files into folders. Maybe someone likes that, but I dread these kind of tasks, and I just couldn't outsource that or give it to anyone else to do it for me, because only I can organize the way I need to be organized. So later I could design the book. So what I did today was a different approach. I said, let's work on that for an hour, because that's a boring job. I can do 1 hour of that. And surprisingly, I reached the end in that hour. And I was postponing doing that for 5 days because I thought, man, I need to spend the entire day just doing that. And 1 hour later, I just finished it. And that also felt good once I went here and said, all right, I finished everything. And there is 4 more things that I put on my so-called to-do list. I call it so-called to-do list because it's not written in advance. It's written once I finish the thing. So let's see. I set a goal to upload 10 stock photos to websites. I told you maybe a couple of weeks ago that I started using Wirestock because they can do the keywording for you, but I found a plugin for Lightroom that simplifies the process of keywording. Maybe I'll show it to you someday. That's my job for a day. Again, very boring job, but I have to do it if I want to be a stock photographer. So again, I didn't put a time limit. I put a number of photos limit. I set I want 10 pictures every day. I chose 15 today, but I decided to just label 10 of them, do the keywords and titles for 10 of them, and upload to different websites. Because once the keywords are baked into the photo, when you upload them to the websites can read the data and automatically fill in the keywords and titles and descriptions. Yes, you do have to sort of do a bunch of tweaking, so that different websites have different keyword requirements, and then once you tweak it a little bit for each website, it takes you about 2 hours to do 10 photos. I guess when the time goes after a couple of weeks, let's say, that process will be way faster. But for now, it takes me about 2 hours with all the breaks that I need to make because it's just a boring task. But yeah, that's what I did today. Also moved 10 photos, actually uploaded 10 photos to stock websites, did the keyword and everything. So that was a bit longer rant. And that's it. The 4th thing is this video. Probably I would write down one more thing because I see there are 4 items here, but number 2 is just a note for me when I was writing these emails. So my number 4 thing that I did today would be making this video, and once I upload it, it will add to what I accomplished today. And purely because I didn't have expectations for this day, I put less pressure on me, and I left less space to be disappointed at the end of the day by the things that I did. And I actually feel pretty much good because I was doing the boring tasks. And doing the boring work is the most difficult, because doing the creative work and the work you love is a piece of cake, but sometimes you just need to do more than you want. And sometimes you need to dedicate a part of day for doing the boring work. And I would end this rant with a conclusion that in the future, I just don't want to be too self-critical about the amount of work that I did, and that could result probably in doing more than I intended. And just instead of focusing on the things that I didn't do, I'll just focus on the things that I've done and be proud of them, and not dwell on the things that I haven't done. It boils down to that, yes, basically. So sorry for this long rant. I hope that you learned something, and see you next time.